Well, out front now, Republican governor and 2024 presidential candidate Doug Burgum of North Dakota. He is in his second term as governor after winning office in 2016. And before that, the governor was a businessman. He bought a software company that later went public and sold for over $1 billion to Microsoft. So, Governor, I very much appreciate your time. And, just your view on Iowa here. Obviously, you're running. You're investing a lot. You've spent more than $2 million on ads in the state of Iowa, more money than every other candidate except for Tim Scott at this point. Meantime, you see Republican Governor Kim Reynolds, as I just laid out, saying she's neutral, but obviously attending several events in Iowa with Governor DeSantis. Do you feel like she's tipping the scales in his favor?
Well, I think Kim and all the Republican leaders in Iowa is an important role that Iowans have, being the first state to caucus. And she is doing a great job being neutral. But of course, Kim, I've known Kim for a number of years. She's currently the chair of the Republican Governors Association, works with governors across the country. And I think, again, Kim's doing a great job. Iowans are doing a great job. And the First Lady, Catherine, and I love going to Iowa. This is it's like home for us coming from North Dakota.
I can see that, but just to be clear, what you're saying is, because I'm just saying in the context of, Nikki Haley is raising concerns about this. Others in your field are raising concerns about her neutrality. But you believe that Governor Reynolds is being neutral. You don't have any concerns about her being too close to DeSantis or to his wife.
No, I trust Kim Reynolds. I think she's doing a great job. And, of course, everybody loves to campaign with Kim. She's super popular in Iowa, and she's done a great job advancing Republican principles in that state. But what we enjoy when we're in Iowa is we get an opportunity to talk to people on the ground about what we're running on, of course, which is the economy, energy, national security. And when you talk to Iowa farmers, they're concerned about these things. They're concerned about the price of diesel they're putting in their tractors. They're concerned about Biden's policies that are really heading in the wrong direction to support agriculture and energy.
So you were asked over the weekend whether you would ever do business with Donald Trump, Governor, and you said, quote, "No, I wouldn't." And then you added, "I just think that it's important that you're judged by the company you keep." So making it clear, in some senses, where you stand. But you do say you'd vote for him for president if he is the nominee again. How do you circle that wagon, that you trust someone to lead the country that you would not trust as a business partner?
Well, these are both hypotheticals. The question about would I vote for Trump over Biden, that was an easy one to say. Of course, if you had a choice between the Biden policies, which are taking us in the wrong direction on every front, or any Republican, and I would take any Republican over Biden. And as far as the race, there's so much more that we should be talking about other than who might do business with who, because again, when we're in a situation we are right now with the challenges our country's facing, it would be great if we could actually have a race where we talk about the issues that matter to Americans.
I do understand what you're saying, but, there are others in your field. Governor Christie, for example, has said he would not vote for Trump, right? Wouldn't vote at all, would write someone in, but he would be unable to do that because of the character and the person. But obviously you don't think that would be the way you would go. Well,
I think unfortunately in our country right now today, when in the last two races, we've had a lot of people who've voted against someone as opposed to voted for something. We're running a campaign where we can kind of understand that as president, we would work for all the people in America. This is what we've done as governor, what we've accomplished in North Dakota. Everybody there understands that when we go to work, if you're in Congress, great. You put on your jersey and you fight for your home team. But the executive branch at the state level and the federal level needs to be working for every American because, Republicans, Democrats, and Independents, they all drive on the roads. They all have an issue after you have a flood or a storm. Presidents have to work for everybody, and that's what we're going to do. And so I just want to make sure everybody understands that we care deeply about this country, and this is we're completely committed to making sure that we keep moving America ahead on the things that, again, the economy touches every American, inflation's touching every American, energy prices are touching every American.
I want to ask you one thing, if I can, before we go. As president, you would be overseeing foreign policy. And one story that I think needs mentioning tonight is the proposed merger between the PGA Tour and the Saudi-backed Live Golf. The former AT&T CEO, Randall Stevenson, has resigned from his post on the policy board of the PGA Tour in protest. He directly mentions U.S. intelligence that found that the Saudi crown prince directed the brutal murder of the U.S. citizen Jamal Khashoggi, right? And that brutal murder by bone saw. So do you think the PGA Tour should be going ahead and joining forces with the Saudis?
I think as president, the president has a defined set of things that they're supposed to do. National security is one of those. But who plays golf on which team? If it's not a national security threat, then I don't think this is business the president should be worried about. I mean, put it on the sports channel. But if there is a national security concern, of course, address it. But this is a thing during this era of celebrity presidents. Apparently, presidents are supposed to weigh in on who shows up at a pregame for a baseball game, and which golfers play in which league. We're in a global economy, and companies are. If you're a farmer in North Dakota and you're selling soybeans, you're selling in a global market. If you're working in an oil field in North Dakota, you're selling into global markets. And we need to make sure that the United States is competitive in global markets. We've got to sell energy to our allies, stop buying it from enemies. We've got to focus on innovation, not regulation. And again, these are the kinds of things that just are distracting the president from doing the job that they're supposed to do.
All right, Governor, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
On the Democratic side,